the essay I wrote to get into Bruin Guardian Scholars was actually about my mom, my birth mother. She has been in a coma for 15 years. May 9th, well, this upcoming May 9th, it will be 16. But I talked about her and how, like, she's, like, how she's kind of what drives me a little bit, you know, because I have, like, well, people tell me a lot about my mom, about, oh, she was pretty cool, you know, she was a really nice lady and, you know, stuff like that. But then I kind of, like, have my own image of her, you know, because, like, well, I came out of her. Nobody knows her better than me. So, I mean, come on now. Yes, you knew her, you know, whatever, in a daily life. I am a part of her. So, you can't tell me you know my mom better than me when, you know, you kind of see what I'm getting there. And so when people tell me, oh, you know, your mom was a really nice lady, I'm like, BS, because you would say that to anybody whose mom wasn't there for him, or whose mom couldn't be there for him. You would say that to anybody. So that's kind of like BS. I kind of like have my own general image of my mother. So the first year we were actually living in a little house, like a frat house. I don't know, I forgot what street it is. But we had like a little living room with the TV, then we had like a backyard, and then, you know, we could go to our rooms, we could have like a little patio, and then like we actually had a kitchen, like a little dining room, you know, and then we had a room with a piano, and some of the students, Chris, actually knew how to play the piano. So like if you wanted to like go listen to music, you would just go into the living room, or you would just ask Chris, oh, go play something on the piano. And, you know, he would play something. It was actually a really cool experience. Actually, it's a really great program. Like now, since we're becoming older, they kind of, you know, aren't really, they're kind of not like babysitting anymore, I would say, for lack of a better term. They're kind of not really babysitting anymore. They're kind of like letting us do our thing. They're just saying, okay, well, you guys can go get lunch and meet back by this time. You know, like, you know, they give us like little money so we can get lunch, or if we don't want to eat, we can use our money, you know, to do something else. And so, I mean, I feel like as we get older, like they're giving us more and more responsibility, and more like, you know, not leisure time, but, you know, like independence. So, I mean, and now it's like really good. So I'm kind of looking forward to the next summer academy, actually. A word I would use to describe First Star would be family. I kind of see everybody here as like a family member to me. Well, family, they always look after each other. They're always there for everybody. Everybody's there for everybody. You know, it's not really a every man for himself kind of deal. It's more of like, oh, if he's failing or he's not really doing good in his math course, I'm gonna go help him study for it. You know, it's kind of like a love bonding we have with each other. I do feel completely safe here with them. I mean, if we could do a 2-month summer academy, hey, I'll be down for it. Like, let's go. You know, because at the beginning of the first month, at the beginning of the month when we go and actually start our program, we're kind of like, you know, okay, you know, we see each other on the monthly, but maybe this person has changed. And then by the end of like the week, or by the end of the day, you know, there's a major like improvement. Like everybody can get along with each other. There's no bullies, there's no nothing. So it's just like completely, everybody's treated fairly. The peer counselors are like the big brothers and sisters of the whole program. Like one of the peer counselors I actually do, well, 2 of them actually, I call them my older sisters, because they're just like sisters to you, you know. They're there for you. You know, it's easy to talk to them, you know, so they're part of the family. I can't speak for everybody else.
For you.
But for me, I would say Wally would be like the dad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Wally, because I remember when we left the first year, he actually like cried. He cried. And it was very touching to me. I won't talk for everybody else, but it was really touching to me. So I would say Wally would be like my father from like a whole nother family. You know, it's kind of like, hey, you know, I mean, if you saw Wally, he's actually a pretty likable guy. You know, he's really active, and like, you know, he plays. I remember the first year he actually played capture the flag with us in the dark. It was really fun. I mean, we kind of did hurt ourselves a little bit, some of us, but it was really funny. It was really funny. My goals are to go through college, and I want to double major in kinesiology and language. Not language arts, but I want to learn like a different language. And after that, I want to go and enlist as a Marine, but I wouldn't go in as an enlisted Marine. I would go in as an officer. Yeah, I'd have a college degree, but then again, I do not want to be the bottom of the bottom guy. That's like everybody, you look up and you see everybody else on top of you. I want to have some kind of rank when I go in. So, yeah, while I'm in college, I'm going to do RLTC. I don't know how to say it. Well, I kind of want to learn about the human body itself. That's like another thing I'm kind of interested in. I mean, I actually transferred from a health science school to Bonita. So, like, I'm not going to say that school was all bad. I mean, there was a lot of bad parts, but one of the big parts is that they did kind of get me hooked on learning about, like, the human body. I don't really care about all the cells and stuff like that. I don't really. But, when you learn about how, like, it's kind of like your body is filled with muscles, and they're kind of like a team, Like, how like a football team would be, or like a baseball team. That's why I kind of see the human body. Like, this muscle works with this muscle to do this, and then this muscle interacts with this muscle, and it's kind of like everybody has their own specific job. But then again, that job that they're doing kind of helps out with another muscle and everything else. So, First Star, I have learned a lot from. They taught me a lot about leadership, a lot about time management, a lot about college in general, a lot about how to, not the everyday, get 8 hours of sleep, kids, and eat your fruit and vegetable, kids. It's more of like, it's kind of up to you if you want to do it. They kind of give you the insight, the major, and the ice cream scoop of college. So, yeah, I mean, they've gone a lot. They've taught a lot. For the Bruin Guardian Scholars Program, I actually kind of was hesitant about going to college because of the fact that, I was always, raised up to be like, okay, college is going to be majorly expensive, so you're going to have to keep your grades up like straight A's, and, then you're going to have to like get financial aid and stuff like that. And then again, I'm like, well, why would I go to college and waste money? When I can easily just go off and like show people that I can do stuff, but without a college degree,
How do you feel differently now?
Well, you need a college degree. For my life, I want to be able to like grow up and do whatever I want to do, whenever, however, and then later on have kids. Later, after I've done everything I wanted to do, so that way I don't, okay, well, I need to get a babysitter, and then sound stupid. No, I'm gonna get a kid when I'm like done. I want to go tour the world first. I want to go see the World War II sites. I want to do all of that. Oh, and I'm a history geek too. Like I said before, it's kind of like family, so there's no friends. It's all brotherly love, sisterly love, sibling. Everybody here I can see as a family member, So I don't really have friends here. It's kind of like, hey, you're my brother. You're just from like a whole other family, and your last name is different, but we're gonna look past that.
And you're white.
Yeah, and you're white. You're white, I'm black, but we can say you're albino, or I came out, or I stayed out too long in the sun. I don't know, but something. We'll come up with something. 10 years from now, if one of the dudes or girls are having like a financial problem, I would give them money to help them out. I would totally give them I wouldn't give them like a lot of money to where I'm financially unstable, but if I've been saving up to take a trip out of the country or something like that, and they were telling me about how they need some money to pay bills, or like need some money to do anything, I would give them that money, and I wouldn't help everybody here. Yeah, that's my definition of a family. One of the coolest speakers that are memorable to me was the drugs guy, because he was talking about how like he was, at first he started off with like marijuana, like he would smoke marijuana when he was younger, and then like how he just like in his life progressed. He did heroin, cocaine, all that stuff, and he had 2 kids through it. And then like there was a point in time where he was like sitting down and like noticed that one of his kids were like walking, and he was like, whoa, what the heck, you know? And he was like, you know what, I gotta stop. And so, you know, from that moment, like it took him a couple tries to like fully get out of it. Like he's had some relapses, but like it took him a couple tries to like fully get out of it. And so like when he told us about it and about how like it can like it's how bad it is and how it can change your life, and like you can do it the whole time, and then your life goes by like that.
But teenagers don't listen to that stuff.
Well, I did. Like your brain makes its own natural drugs. So when you feel like, oh, I want to go smoke weed and get high, or oh, I want to go do cocaine or do something like that, I feel like you're a weakling. You're a weak person. Because I'm a strong believer in like survival of the fittest, and so I believe you're weak if you feel like, oh, you know, my life's not going great, or oh, I got laid off and I want to go smoke weed. Well, then that's your choice, but you are like killing yourself. You know, people say, oh, you smoke weed, you know, you're not gonna get lung cancer. Okay, but then you live your life, you kill your brain cells. So you live your life as like as you grow up, you grow more, you get more knowledge, and you smoking weed is like taking an eraser and erasing your entire test and turning it back in. But you knew the answers to that test, you just erased it. Like, and the teachers are like, well, what is this? You know? So that's why when kids are like, oh yeah, you know, I'm about to go smoke weed, or oh dude, I smoke bubblegum kush, or I smoke this, and they seem like they're cool or whatever. I'm like, dude, you are the bottom of the bottom. Everything is like a car, and you're like the gunk under the car that people scrape off. Like, I'm gonna be a really relaxed kind of parent. Like, I'm gonna like while my son or daughter is young, like really young, I'm gonna like teach them how to conduct themselves. Like how like they can come to me about anything. Like, oh dad, there's this girl, she's really cute, and you know, I want to go have sex with her. Then I would be like, okay, cool, but like you do know you have a higher risk of doing, like, you know, you have a higher risk of catching something than you would just, you know, go knock one off real quick and then call it a day. You know, like you can't get something yourself by staying asexual. I mean, I would really like push my son to go do that. Like, go ahead, I'll buy you a magazine. Go ahead, just as long as you. But if you feel like, oh, you really want to go do that, you come back and tell me, oh, dad, I have chlamydia, or oh, dad, I have AIDS, or something like that. Well, then I'm gonna look at you and be like, well, that was your choice. What are you gonna do about it? Or I want to go to college at UCLA. I'm not really too big into the other colleges because, I mean, come on, I'm a Bruin. Come on. It's like, that's like sending a cat into a fox den, and it's like, do you expect the cat to come out a cat, or you expect the cat to come out acting like a fox? Like, what do you, so I'm a Bruin, every day, Bruin.
When I was younger, I didn't like to share my story. I wasn't really an open person, but being in this program has changed that a lot. I don't feel like I'm being judged anymore, and I feel like being where I've been has made me stronger, and that it can help people if I share. And I would feel selfish if I didn't share. So they've been through similar situations as us, so it's easier to talk to them versus like a school counselor who doesn't really understand their story or the feelings or emotions you would have in this situation, and being adopted or fostered child.
You're adopted now?
Yeah, I'm adopted now. The essay that I wrote to get in was what people could say about me on my 100th birthday.
And tell me about that.
I was kind of confused. I was like, what does that even mean? Like, what? I didn't really understand. So what I did was I wrote my dreams, what I wanted to do by the time I was 100. So I wrote the career passion I have, which was becoming a criminal profiler. I wrote about the qualities I have or the qualities that my friends say that I have. I also wrote about things that I wish I could change about myself too, that I would overcome in the future. Oh, when I first stepped foot on the campus, it was very overwhelming. I wanted to go home instantly. I really did. I didn't want to. I was like, what did I get myself into? I can't believe I'm here. But that happened, and then I would say 20 minutes after my mom left, I was like, oh my God, I want to be here for forever. We instantly had a bond. It was instant with the counselors, with the other students, all of it. It was just, and I didn't know whether to be scared or to be happy. Like, I was like, I don't know if this is right. I was so confused, but over time I realized that this is something that foster kids deserve. Every foster kid deserves a chance like this, to be around people who care about them so much. It's amazing. The people who are here inspire me to be what I can be and who I want to be. They inspire me to go to college, inspire me to not be a statistic. They inspire me to really just to be open, to be able to share, to be just to be all that you can be. That's what they inspire me to do. I remember when we first came, they told us that the statistic of a foster kid graduating from college is less than 2%. And I was devastated. I was so sad. I was like, what? Just because we're foster kids, that doesn't make us any dumber or any, like, I didn't understand until they got into, like, the financial part of it, how, you know, we don't get enough money and things like that. They told us that those who are foster kids, 40% of us end up either homeless or on welfare, and it was devastating, and I decided that that's not a place that I was going to be in. The people here who I surround myself with are not friends. I wouldn't call them friends. And if there was a stronger word for family, it would be that. I would go to them before anyone else. I would go to them to talk about anything, any of my problems, or like if anything big happens, they're the first people I call. Like, I'm like, oh my God, guys, guess what happened? And like, then I'll tell my friends at school later, because this is the strongest relationship I have with anyone, with the kids here or with the people my age here. This is the strongest bond I have with anyone. So.
Why do you think that is?
I think we all have the strong relationship is because we've been through the same things, and the connection between us is really great. I can't. It's not an explainable thing. It's really not. It's just there. If I didn't have First Star, my grades would be pretty bad, because this is my inspiration to do good in school. If I didn't have First Star, I wouldn't have a strong support team. Of course, I have my mom, but I don't know what I would do without First Star. If I didn't have First Star, I wouldn't go to college. I would just get a job and probably be stuck in the rut. If I didn't go to First Star, I'd probably like at Walmart or Target, and that is not a high-paying job. That's not what I want to do with my life. I want to be able to, if there's anything I want to be able to have it. What do I want to do? I want to analyze criminals, obviously, criminal minds, but I want to also help them, because people don't just do crimes just to do them. There's a reason behind it. There's a motive. It always stems from something inside. Most criminal profilers, they're just there to prove if they're wrong or right. But I feel like that's not, in what way does that help them? I want to be able to sit down with them and get to the root of their problems. And if they go to jail, they go to jail. But they go to jail knowing in them what they did and the reasons behind it, so that they can move on and change. Since I've been at First Star, I've changed emotionally. I've opened up more. I've been able to speak more. Like before First Star, I would never do this. Never. I'll never do this interview. Ever. I've become more confident. Definitely more confident with like Destiny and Divinity. They teach us that no matter your size, your color, that you are beautiful. They teach us that to never let anyone disrespect you, guy or girl, like you're worth so much more. It's just I don't know. It's like it gave me a second chance, really, to become the person I've always wanted. Like I've always wanted to be like confident and be able to talk to people, but I couldn't do that before I first started because I was like stuck in a little shell. So yeah, my best friend Vanessa, before we met, because in 8th grade I moved to Whittier, from Carson to Whittier, and I was devastated. I had to start all the way over. I barely wanted to make friends where I was, and starting all the way over was devastating. I was acting out, didn't really care about grades, didn't care about school, disrespected my mom. So in that, when I went to school, I wanted to be by myself. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. But having Vanessa there, being there, she would talk to me, and I would blow her off at first. When we first met, I was like, I don't want friends. I'll be by myself, I'm fine. But after we started getting close, I realized that there's no need to be like that. And when you're like that in yourself, you're making yourself bitter. And I didn't want to be seen as bitter. I wanted to be the happy-go-lucky person that everyone could talk to, or if they ever needed anything, I wanted to be there for them. And like being in this program has also helped me do that. Oh, for instance, I'm on student council here. I would never have done that, ever, like not even at school. Also being here I'm on student council at school too, so that's also helped. Becoming a leader, seeing the responsibilities, having responsibilities that, I mean, it's scary, but it's something you learn to manage. So I'm also proud that I got onto student council. The most memorable moment I've had at UCLA, or first star, was girls' night. We all got into this one apartment, and we were all crying because we were talking about our stories, and everyone was in tears. All the girls, all the counselors, we were talking about our lives and our relationship with our parents, the parents that we didn't have, and I think that was the big turning point for all of us, because of course we all had like our little cliques that we would go to, but after girls' night, I usually hang out with like Andrea, Tasha, Pamela, but if I wanted to go to Rosario right now and just pour out and just cry to her, I know that she's there for me, or Sam, or Nicole, or any of the girls, or even the guys. Like, that's another thing, I would never talk to guys, like not, in a way, but I would never,
Okay, 2 minutes.
I would never want to be around guys, but being here with all the guys, like, like a brotherly bond that I never had, and that's important too.
When I first came in, I was very shy, very timid. I wasn't sure how this was going to turn out. I'm very shy when it comes to doing new things and meeting new people, and so I expected just a summer of me being alone again, and that's not what happened at all. What happened was I made new friends, way more new friends than I could have imagined. The counselors here, they were amazing, and these guys are now like my best friends. I consider them. I like wake up every Saturday, every month, smiling, realizing that, this is a Saturday, I'm going to go see my friends again. I have learned, I don't even know if I could describe that into words. I've just learned so many things. I've learned all about how college works and all about setting goals, and I used to think that I couldn't attain too much. I could never become more than I wanted. I used to dream about going to college and thinking, well, that's not a possibility, I can't do it. And then everyone in this academy, they urge us, they push us and tell us, yes, you can do it, you're special. And I believe in myself 100% now. College, to me, before I came, was just a simple thought. Like, it's a place you go to after you graduate high school if you can go. And I don't think I could go. That's always used to be my thinking. Like, college, can't afford it, I'm not smart enough to go. It's like, why even bother? When I was little, I used to think of all sorts of things that little kids would think, astronaut, scientist, you got just, because when you're little, you imagine these things and you think they'd be fun, but when I started growing up, I realized that what can I do? I can't do much. I can't do anything at all. And then when came here, started believing in myself, and now I want to come to college. I want to teach people. That's what I want to do. I think I want to come here to become a teacher and just go back to my old high school, middle school, and teach them a way a teacher should have taught me. Taught me to believe in myself, taught me to study and learn. And I used to see teachers who would just sit in class and just give you an assignment and say, okay, here, do this, and that's it. No explanation, no nothing. And which doesn't make sense since teachers don't get paid much. Why else would you be there if you're not going to teach? And so that's what I want to do. Chemistry, biology, history. I just want to grasp onto important subjects like that. Those subjects are my favorite, and they constantly make you think and imagine. Like with biology, you see how the anatomy of certain creatures works, and you think, wow, how does that happen? And then you start researching it on yourself. Or with history, you start seeing all these important events that lead up to something great and big, like the Renaissance movement. There's factors behind that, and when you read through and see what a big impact that had on the modern day, well, that's amazing to me. UCLA feels to me like the next step in my future. Everyone's taught me to believe in myself and attain for higher goals. How could I not? How could I not believe in? How could I not just set my goal to come here? It seems impossible now. One of the most memorable moments to me is last year, right as the academy was ending, I finally found the courage to tell these people in my life who are super important to me that I just finally told them all that I was gay. And that in itself, the way they accepted me without even a slight hesitation, was incredible. Honestly, I just realized that, these people, they're not strangers, they're my family now. Like every single person down there, I could probably tell a big secret to them, and they wouldn't care. They wouldn't judge me in a second way because they know me for who I am. When I finally said it, everyone just clapped, and it was amazing because I never felt such a close-knit, everyone here was just so accepting, right off the spot, that in my head I kept thinking oh God, what would happen? Just worst case scenarios for everything. And then once they said the words, it was the one scenario I never thought that could happen, and it was the best. Growing up, I never felt like I had such a connection to people. I never felt that I could. I mean, I've gone through so much in my life that it just felt like having people there for you to hear you out and care. Well, that just felt like imagination, like something you could only read in a book. And then these people here, they showed it to me firsthand that, it can happen. I gotta stop secluding myself and feeling alone and start embracing, I gotta start being myself. I gotta start talking. I gotta start having fun, living my life instead of just hiding on the sidelines. I'm a Bruin. When I graduate from high school, I'm coming to UCLA.
First, I was all by myself in the corner. I was just waiting for people to come to me, and I was like, maybe she wants to do the same thing as I did. Might as well be the person that goes up to them. How would that feel? I wanted to experience something new, and it was cool because they actually became my friends.
So when I'm here, it's different because they're my other second family. I feel I could be myself around them, and I have so many memories I make here. And every month I'm so excited to come and see them. Yeah.
I kind of had the same experience because when I went to when I was all through my growing up, I never have ever told anybody that I'm a foster, and I always try to hide it, and I would be embarrassed. I'll say, oh, those are my parents. Like, I wouldn't really talk about it. Like, I didn't have any, I couldn't talk about my biological parents, but when I came here, I was like, everybody was so open. I was like, I felt like I could be the same way. Because I really didn't have anybody. I felt like I was by myself. And when I came here, I felt like family. For the first time, I had something. Because my parents would say they don't want me. They rather have my younger siblings. Who else? This is my, yeah.
Well, I was lucky to go to a good home and have my other sister Shaddai, and we were the same age, and we would go to the same school, same grade, and I always had her. And my foster mom always treated me like if I was her daughter and always welcome home. Like me, I would try like not to be so open, like oh, it's just her job to be nice to me. And sometimes like I would get like the attitude I would give to her, like I should have been more nicer.
I feel natural around them, like free, and like they relate to us, and it's like we're actually related but not blood related, so it's really fun. It's not even like we don't even hesitate to tell each other anything. It just comes naturally. Like it's meant for you, and someone created it just for you, and you're the person they're looking for, and it's only your world and your world to be free. It's directly for you. Well, I see myself, I actually have a future now. Like I can imagine myself being my own person, having my own things, and like leading my own life, and being like doing whatever I want and succeeding. I imagine myself being the boss of everybody. Yeah, I imagine myself doing everything that I possibly want and can do.
Samantha?
Oh, now, like, well, I never had in my mind like I would go to college. I didn't even really have that much clue about college, and they have really opened my eyes. And like coming to a campus, like I kind of have like a feeling of already coming to college, and it's just great, and I love it, and I'm so blessed to have these people helping me and care for me and wanting me to go, and they're gonna be there until I get to college.
In 10 years, I will be graduating probably from UCLA with a master's or a bachelor's, heading towards like building my own business, or helping like my sister create her business, because she also wants to create her business. And like I want to teach her more and be part of her business and just be with each other. Yeah. This is very important for foster youth, because like me, like and Sam, we used to think like, oh, we used to not even think about college, and this is an opportunity to open up foster people's mind, foster kids' mind open, and like help them understand that they're not another statistic about for other people, and they're worth as much as any other person, and they could go somewhere in life, and it's not like someone tells you you have to be something specific, or tells you you're not worth anything, because everybody has the chance to do whatever they want and has the opportunity to move on in life. When I move into foster home, like you can't always pick, because it's always the social worker's choice or your foster parent's choice where you want to move, and you have no say into it. So you really can't like keep yourself steady even if you want to, because you're not directing your own life, and it's not your choice. Like, oh, I have my own car, I can stay over here, or I have the money to take care of myself. No, someone like tells you, you have to go there, you have to go over here, you have to stay. So with Bruin, it's like they follow you. They're like hopping everywhere you go. They stay with you. It's like, you're all over there. Okay, let's send the bus over there. You move? Okay. What's the new direction? What's your phone number? So that's great. Feel supported.
Tell me.
Feels like someone took a weight off your back. And you don't have to worry about one less thing.
It's always here.
Yeah. Even if we already graduate from Bruin Guardians, we still have like their phone numbers, and they're like, oh, call us when you need anything. Come support the other Bruins. They've proven it because when like I moved like a while back, and they're like, oh, like the first day we came to one of the classes, they went to the wrong house. And they're like, oh, where's your new location? And then I didn't know like other Bruins were near me, and they came to pick me up. I was like, yes, I still gotta go. So I was very happy. So they came, and then they always call before ahead of time, like, and then I like get out of the house of chaos, and so it's really fun to come. 16 and I'm a Bruin. Even though if I end up going to a different school, I'll still cheer for the Bruins.
The First Star program means to me, it means to me like my second family. Like they have all I need. Like the people here, I don't know, they just have opened me more, because like me, I'm like the quiet, like serious one, and then when I come here, I change, I'm different. Like they make me want to like be someone better, and because I like, because what I've been through, like it's just brought me down, and I'm always thinking, and I'm coming here to First Star, like it takes that off my mind, and it just brings me happiness, and I don't know, just like the feeling it gives me being with them here. The foster parents sometimes just take the kids in just for they could have money. The kids just want love, hope, and they just want somebody to like make them feel important, wanted. And you get this here at First Star. They give you that. They make you feel wanted, important, and that you are something, and you could achieve something greater in life.
The First Star Academy changed me by before I used to be very negative and didn't really like opening myself up to new people. And when I came, it was like I must open myself up. So it like little by little, my heart started opening up to people. I made friends, like at least 3 of them that are good to me. Like because when I go home, I got nobody to talk to. I'm the kid that's always at the corner with nobody around me. And when I got here, it helped me when I got new friends, and I started opening me up to the world that I don't like at all. What I like about the world is not the people in the world, but there's stuff inside the world. Like imagine if all the buildings were gone and all the people were gone. What you will see is a luscious world with animals and everything normal where it's supposed to be. And I like that about the world. Like there's sometimes when you wake up in the morning, there's no cars. It's pretty weird because you gotta wake up at 4 o'clock because you could just see me wake up earliest from everybody. And just sit there and all you'll hear is nothing, only the birds chirping, which is my favorite sound in the world. Like so quiet. What the world's supposed to be, just the animals talking, chirping. You don't know, squirrels going up the trees. It's pretty interesting because it's like something that no other humans like doing, because I was born hating people because they used I never got help from any of us, from them. All they did was abuse me, and they didn't really care. So when animals came into my lives, for some reason it was like a pill, not like a pill, like a bad one, but it calmed me down. They knew how I felt, and sometimes I knew how they felt when they get abused. Because when I was young, I saw an animal get abused, and the eyes it had was the same as mine, scared of people. So when I grow up, I want to grow up helping them too. So I'm trying to become a baker for them, like make food for them. Or if I'm lucky and I become more physical, I want to be in a humane society where I go and take them from those bad places and sometimes help them find a new place where they can live. When I graduate from high school, I'm thinking of starting at UC Davis because I heard they have a pretty good zoology thing, so maybe from right there I can start learning about the nature and animals. So later on I'll find out maybe the food they eat, the exhibit that they're supposed to be in, like they're supposed to be in this type of area, and if you find them, you're supposed to move them. Or I want if I can, I'll try joining UCLA here, just for a good start of something new. Or try finding one, because you don't know what you want to do until later on in the future.
First Star made me appreciate life more and gave me the opportunity to see what college life is actually about and just really realize who I am as a person on the inside and out, and it made me grow up as a person. I didn't have a lot of self-confidence back then, but I've, through the past almost 3 years, have definitely grown a lot in my self-confidence and putting myself out there a lot more, and it's become a really great experience. When summer comes, I'm just blown out of my mind. I'm like, come on, day, and it's definitely just like let's go, come on, I want to go, here we go. So it's definitely like what is it coming? So I'm very excited. The peer counselors have been like my big brother and big sister. I've definitely come close to a lot of the peer counselors, and they're like my best friends. I can tell them anything, and they understand, and they can help me and be like, have you ever thought about this idea for that situation? And they give me different ideas for solutions for a problem that I'm having. Some of us do wait. For me, I do wait because I can't really go online where I live. I can't go on Facebook on our group page because we don't have Facebook there. So it's definitely, for me, it's like a wait and see, and then I have like all these ideas and it takes forever to catch up, and there's not enough time in the day to catch up with every single person in this academy. But when the summer comes, it's definitely more time. Well, why I want to go to community college is because right now I'm trying to get up my grades, and my grades aren't that good because I'm moving around and getting caught up and just a bunch of stuff. But also it's cheaper in the long run. Instead of paying $2,000-$3,000 for a semester, you're paying $20-$30 or $200, and it's a lot cheaper in the long run to go to community college first than a 4-year. Yeah, it's pretty tough leaving UCLA because it's a pretty close-knit family, and it's tough, but I get through it, and I wish I could stay here forever, but I can't.
I'm a peer counselor. I work with the kids, take them to class, take them to lunch, dinner, breakfast. Also help them with their work, encourage them to do well, want them to go to college, tell them my story, other stories, how to get there, basically act as a bridge from like the adults. I'm in the middle because I can relate to them, but I'm also an adult who's already been through it. So I'm the bridge for them to go to college from a peer counselor's perspective. I take my role very seriously because actually I want to go into academic counseling, and I've been working with kids since I was 17, so I look at it as an opportunity to basically relay my experiences back to them. And I feel like the reason why they can relate to the peer counselors is because we're not that far apart in age, and we actually hang out with them while they're in class. So it's like when they're doing work and they're like, oh, this is boring, like I can relate to say like, this probably isn't the most entertaining thing to do at the time, but I can give them perspective of why I went through it, and you know, it's going to help you in the future. And I can kind of see, I can relate to like, chemistry 10th grade, I can stand it, but you know, I needed it to get to where I am, and I can kind of like relay that message. That's why I take it seriously, and I feel like it's on a more personal level, being in class with them and then being on the basketball court with them, talking about scholarships, potential. Like, I didn't get a scholarship, I didn't end up playing basketball. Like, my coaches kind of sucked the life out of it, so I can tell them from my experience how to go about getting to where you want to be. So the biggest challenge that our kids have are lack of control. Like, they can't really make their own decisions, even though you're already kids anyway, but they're actually limited. So if they're really striving in one school system, it's time to pick up and move. You can't really do anything about that. It's not really too much of negotiation in that circumstance. I was talking to somebody today, and they want to do basketball in after school programs, but their foster parents don't want them to. They want to live with certain people and they can't. So it's just, their lives are really at somebody else's control until they do make it to college. And that's why I try to emphasize that, you know, you're almost there, so you should keep striving for that, because you've already made it through 14 to 15 years of your life, and 2 more you'll be on your own. And so you shouldn't give up now, and college is a great way to start being on your own. I think a lot of the kids are UCLA kids because they've been here, they've seen the campus, they're familiar with it, they're comfortable, they hear a lot of great stories, hear a lot of great speakers speak highly of UCLA, and you know, they've already taken classes here. So I think a lot of kids will be UCLA bound. You may have your few that want to actually go out and explore and be more adventurous, but I feel like for the most part, a lot of them will at least apply to UCLA. And I remember like one of the last days of last summer, we kind of had this string. We had to like pass it around and say like, why you appreciate this person, or who do you feels like done something great for you. And it was really warming. Like, you get kind of choked up because you hear a lot of great things that you didn't even know somebody took it to heart like that. So I definitely feel like it's a family, and when the job is over and when I leave today, and for most people, it doesn't stop there. Like, you're still gonna care about what they do, and you want to see them succeed because you build those bonds. It's kind of bittersweet. It's kind of like some of the students will get up and share their story of foster youth, their parents like just being bad parents, and it really made me closer to the kids because they had to get up there and share. Oh, in one moment, one of our kids came out and said, you know, he was homosexual, and it was a big moment because everybody supported him, and I could feel like a lot of walls being broken down. It was like, you know, hugs were being given, and it was like a lot of support, and I just thought like, this is what it should be. Nobody was criticizing him. People went through like, you know, I'm here for you, you need somebody to talk to, and I really felt like it was very mature of him and all the kids to kind of just, you know, be there for him. I thought that was one of the good moments. Our hope for the future is, I know they're talking about going like country or national wide and getting a lot of more foster youth to go to college and into the program. My hope for it is that it stays around and that these kids come back and they're peer counselors. I think that would be good to give back from their experience because they just went through it and they're like, we didn't want to come here for our first summer, but we made it to college. And I think like, you know, kind of like the pay it forward mindset, going out forth, becoming college students and being peer counselors. You know, I think that I would love to see that happen from, you know, a different standpoint. Seeing them actually be peer counselors, that would be awesome.
I was brought to Bruin Guardian Scholars because I love working with foster youth. I love working with youth, period, and I felt that this is a really good program. And I just love being around the kids. They're great. Our relationship with the kids, we're basically big brothers and sisters. We play the mentor role, but we're also like the parent figure at times. So if they need anything, they know they can come to us. If it's anything personal, if it's anything academic, if they need anything, they know they can come to us. In terms of tutoring, we take them to classes, we sit in on the classes with them. So we're with them all day, we eat with them. Everything they're doing, we're doing with them. So we're basically a big support for them. If they're having any type of crisis, they come to us. So we're like their little family system on campus. And outside of campus, a lot of them have our numbers, so we talk to them on a regular basis. And I feel like they've grown so much. Like some of them were really, really immature, which you'd expect, they're teenagers. But they've just grown so much in terms of how they handle conflicts, how they approach one another, their behavior in classes, their behavior during presentations, how they dress, like everything's changing. And I just see it happening so rapidly, and I see them maturing, and it's just awesome to see. It's really great. When they come on Saturdays, initially I witnessed them being tired. It starts pretty early, but as the day goes on, I see them really opening up and taking in everything that we're giving them, all of the academic advice, all the personal advice, things in terms of social media. I really see them being attentive to what we're trying to give them, not only just sitting here and participating, but they're actively participating. They're taking in everything and actually listening. I've seen a lot of them actually change some of their Facebook statuses and like change the things they post because of things we're telling them at the academy. I definitely think they appreciate what we give them at the academy, and a lot of things are what they ask for, and we incorporate what they want. So if they ask for it, then of course they have to appreciate it. We're giving it to them. They actually ask for the test prep stuff. So in terms of like SATs, the KC, things like that, they know they can't get their high school diploma without passing the KC. So they've asked for test prep for that, and we're getting it for them. We're getting SAT prep, college admission people to speak with them. They've asked for that, and we're getting it. So we've had so many guest speakers. We've had a guest speaker who is currently getting her PhD. She's also a nurse here at UCLA, and she was a former foster youth. And she came to speak with them about her story and how she's succeeding in college. We've had a UCLA admissions person come and speak about how to get to college and what classes to take. We've had a person come talk about drugs and why not to do them. We've had so many. We've had someone talk about sex trafficking. We've had someone talk about gangs. We've had people talk about everything that could possibly affect them in any type of way. They have a lawyer that comes and talks to them about their educational rights. So we have quite a bit of people that come and speak to them about everything. We definitely have these guest speakers come, and we as well try to teach them to advocate for themselves, because a lot of people won't advocate for them. A lot of people write them off because they're foster youth, and they feel that they'll do stereotypical things like commit crimes and like rob other people and things along that line, that they're not educated. When they are, they're very intelligent youth, and it's good to let them know that they can advocate for themselves, so that they don't have to depend on someone else to do it, so that when something's not right, they feel comfortable enough to speak up and get what needs to be done. The youth definitely know that they have people to call. They can call anyone from Yolanda to Peter, myself, all the other peer counselors, their peers, anyone they can call, and they know we'll be there for them. A lot of the youth have home changes. They have people going in and out of their lives. School changes constantly, but the academy's always here. Every summer we're here. The Saturday academies are always going on. None of them are ever canceled. So the youth know that they can always come here, and this is going to be their foundation. We're always here for them no matter what. A lot of the youth are very close. It's just like looking at a group of siblings. Of course, they have their times where they're arguing with their teenagers, their brothers and sisters. This is how they are, but it's always a lot of support. They're very, very, very supportive of one another. They're open with one another. It's great. It's nice to see them interact with one another. The hardest thing for me is hearing some of the personal stories. A lot of them have had personal issues with parents on drugs, have been on drugs themselves, have been homeless at one time, and it's just crazy to think about a 15-year-old going through this and being able to still smile, being able to come to Saturday Academy and be happy, being able to talk to people about it. Because at my age, I don't think I can go through what some of these youth have gone through. I hope success for all the kids. I want them all to be happy. I want them to have their own families. I want them to go to college. I want them to be in their dream careers. I just want them to be happy. I want to see them always smiling. These are my babies.